Thank you to Luis for giving me this opportunity to talk about our experience on data quality evaluation for administrative data. Next one, please. I hope that today I can answer the following two questions with my presentation. The first is about the criteria which can be used to determine the quality of the administrative data to be published by National Statistical Office. And the second one is about how to ensure data consistency over time when the underlying admin data is evolving. Next one, please. To answer the first question, I'd like to share with you Statistics Canada's practice on assessing admin data quality. First, we have implemented a data quality evaluation process, which supports statistical program managers by guiding them through all activities related to the data quality assessment. The goal of this process is to identify the data needs, the type of data which can be provided, and how well the supplied data meets the program's needs. Once the data received from the data provider is pre-processed, internal data users can are asked to perform a preliminary assessment of the data. An evaluation report is completed after the initial assessment. This report serves as the corporate documentation and provides valuable information to others. Upon reception of the first sets of regular production data, we have to ensure that the record layout of the production file is in line with the agreement negotiated with the data provider. Also, we need to look at the data to ensure that it meets data requirements documented in the preliminary assessment of the test file. If necessary, we will provide findings to the pre-processing team. About 8 to 10 months after production data have been received, an evaluation questionnaire will be sent to the internal data users to obtain their detailed analysis of the data, and an evaluation report is also produced. Next, please. Some people may think that data quality equals to accuracy, but this is clearly not true. For instance, very accurate data that is 5-6 years old may no longer be relevant. Also, sometimes you may be asked if you are willing to accept a lower coverage rate or less accurate data to get the data faster. So here's a trade-off between accuracy and timeliness. That's why quality has multiple dimensions. At Statistics Canada, we define quality in 6 dimensions, which are relevance, timeliness, accuracy, accessibility, interpretability, and coherence. We use the quality evaluation questionnaire to assess data quality of administrative data as well. Because data quality is relative to the data needs, we assess fitness for use for admin data as well. Here, I only have a screenshot from our webpage, which shows the content of the questionnaire. I know it's too small to read, so I put some examples below. First, in order to assess the relevance, we could ask if the data is useful in building. Next one, please. Yeah, sorry, that's right. If the data is we ask if the data is useful in building policy, if it helps in long-term planning, if it fills a data gap, or if it can be promoted for new initiatives. For example, health records are used to provide statistics on cancer prevalence. For timeliness, we usually ask if the data release schedule will be in line with the data needs. For instance, when using scanner data to produce a price index, we need to check if the file for a reference file, if the file for a reference month will be available on time according to consumer price index release schedule. Next, please. Accuracy and reliability are usually measured by different types of errors and bias observed in data, such as reporting errors or coverage errors. For instance, if some subgroups of a population are not covered, then statistics produced could be biased. Accessibility and clarity can be assessed by asking if the data will be available as frequently as needed or whether it's available at the time it is needed. If scanner data becomes a primary source for CPI, then we need to ask whether there's any guarantee that the data will still be available in the future. If there's any plan put in place when it is not accessible at 1 month or even longer period. Next one, please. The interpretability is also assessed by the quality of metadata. We evaluate metadata by asking if the metadata is available and complete, if all the concepts, definitions, and code sets have been clearly defined, because any misinterpretation will lead to errors in the final product. Coherence and comparability usually require that the data is produced using standard code sets, same concept variables, and classifications. When two files are linked together using a matching variable, this variable needs to follow the same standard in both files in order to have a successful linkage. Next, please. To address the second question regarding data consistency over time, I'd like to share with you our quality guidelines for ensuring data coherence. To improve coherence, we need to keep concept definitions, classifications, and methodologies up to date. Any new classifications or concepts which affect statistical series should be well documented. When necessary, the differences between concepts have to be specified, and methods used at different times for the same variables have to be documented as well. When using different methods at different times, impact assessment should be done and well documented. Next, please. The quality indicators we usually use to measure coherence, including the following. We require that well-established standards are used for concepts, definitions, and classifications. Regional and international standards for statistical methods should be followed. And if inconsistency is observed and cannot be fully explained, it must be documented as well. Even though there are tools and evaluations to help, they do not tell the full story because quality is relative to the needs. If the question cannot be seen, the questions cannot be seen as a decision tree, but rather as a way to guide program managers in their discussion with data providers and in the planning of the processing of the data. Next, please. Here's our contact information. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.